welcome to the Festival of Storytellers.
I can't tell you how excited I am to be on right now. It's been a couple of weeks of excitement, getting prepared, and I've done a lot of things in my life, but this has got to be close to the top.
Thank you, Reader's Magnet, and thank you, John, for putting this forth and taking the chance on us authors in presenting this out to the world.
I've enjoyed this immensely, Joanne.
Ellie, so have I. Thank you for who you are, and thank you, Reader's Magnet. You all are beautiful, and you've worked so very hard, and we are blessed.
We are.
I thank everybody that's involved with this process, because we know writers need readers and writers need publishers. We thank Reader's Magnet and everybody that's involved. I love Reader's Magnet. They say, we share your stories with the world.
Hello, fairgoers, and welcome to the Festival of Storytellers. My name is EILEEN, MASCHGER, and I am the author of The Forgotten. Oh my gosh, I've done this too many times. I am the author of The Fourth Princess and the soon-to-be published Forgotten Prince. I am so excited to be here. We are right smack in the middle of week 2 of our Festival of Storytellers. I don't know about you, but I am having a blast. There is so much to see and look at here. So many different stories, so many different voices. I know quite a few of the authors that are also presenting here at the festival, and they are just amazing people with awesome stories to share. So I hope you have a chance to go and look and check out a few other booths as well. There is something here for everyone. So I know you won't be disappointed. I know I'm not. I'm just having a blast. This is a great festival, and I hope you're enjoying yourself if you're enjoying yourself at half as much as I am, then you're good. Then we're good. Because the energy level is way up here for me lately. I want to do a quick shout out to Reader's Magnet for putting this festival together. They have done an extraordinary job. They are working a mile a minute at just making sure that this festival looks beautiful. Everything is functioning as it should, making sure the authors are where they're supposed to be and are calm and good to go for you guys. And they are doing everything they can to make sure that your experience at this festival is the best one ever. And they have worked so hard. So thank you so much, Reader's Magnet, for this opportunity. Thank you for just making our faces and our voice more accessible to you guys, our readers. Not all of us have the chance to get out to all of the book fairs in person, and so this is a huge step. This is a huge thing for me, and I love being a part of it. I was a part of it last season, and I love being a part of it again. They never let me down. Reader's Magnet never lets me down. So thank you very much for that. And one more thank you to you guys for coming here to my booth and listening to me, of all people. I'm very, very humbled and honored. So thank you so much for that. I would not have fun broadcasts without you. They are, honestly, I am amazing because of you guys and because of your questions. So there's a nice little segue into leaving questions. I love to talk. Many of you have seen me talk forever about one little question, but I prefer to talk about things that you want to hear, as opposed to me talking and hoping it's what you want to hear. So please, as soon as something pops in your head, throw one of your questions right here at the little chat box right there. Yes. So throw them out, and I will try to answer them all as best as possible. And I look forward to what you want to talk about today, because every session is different, because everyone has so many different questions to ask. So I appreciate you, and I appreciate your questions, and some of them get pretty deep. So go ahead, get as deep as you want, because that's why I'm here. I'm here for you. So today we are talking specifically about the fourth princess. Now, I talked about this last Thursday and touched on the story and a little bit about my process, but I wanted to cover a few things that I didn't get to last week today. For those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. And who don't know anything about the fourth princess, it is a fairy tale retelling of The Princess and the Pea. It is for young adults, ages preteen to young adult, and for adults that are young at heart. So long as you know it's it's for younger audiences. Okay, so if you are going to read this book and you're approaching it from a very analytical perspective and you just want to rip it apart and dissect it and see if it's going to be right up there with all the classics, don't do that. Don't do that. This is a story that's meant to be read and just enjoyed. Okay. I call that literary junk food. Okay. This is your bag of potato chips to have with your hamburger, this just something sweet to just read and enjoy, and you're doing great. Okay. and you'll be happy when you're done, because all of my stories have happy endings, because fairy tales should have happy endings. Am I right? Okay. So the fourth princess is a story about a princess, the fourth one. She's the youngest out of all of her sisters, and she really is just trying to figure out her place in the world. All of her sisters have everything figured out, and she does not. Things don't come as, it's not quite so obvious what she should be doing with her life as it was with her sisters. And so she decides to go out in the world, meet new people, go to new kingdoms, meet new cultures, learn more about different people and different lifestyles, and do her best to help them in any way that they need. Not the way she thinks that they need help. Help them in the way that they need help. We'll see what they want. And that's what she does. She kind of journeys throughout the land, meeting new people and just being good friends with them, and sharing their listening to their stories. And from that, she earns a reputation as the fourth princess. And she, of course, she goes by the name. She doesn't want to be known that she's a princess, but that's what they do. They just kind of label her the fourth princess because she's just sweet and amazing, and she acts like a princess, even though she doesn't want people to treat her like one. She still acts like one, and she's still amazing. And you can't hide awesomeness, right? At least that's what one of my friends told me. You can't hide amazing. So you just keep doing what you do, and the people who love you will love you, and the people who are jealous or hate you, well, you don't need that kind of negativity in your life. So anyway, the Princess Josephine, that's her name, she has created this reputation of the fourth princess. And eventually she comes on, she finds herself on the doorstep of Prince Wendell's castle. Prince Wendell has lived a very sheltered life. His parents do not like him leaving the castle at all, for reasons I cannot tell you, but they're good, really good. And they become fast friends. Of course, he doesn't believe that she is who she is when she comes right out and says that she is a princess at first, because that's how the fairy tale goes. And slowly they start to understand one another, learn more about one another and about who they are, what their goals and dreams are, until he starts to think maybe she is the real deal. Maybe this really is, she is telling the truth. And from that, they start to learn more about their goals, learn about what they want out of life, and things that they once thought were impossible are now achievable because of the support that they bring one another, which I think that's a message in and of itself. I mean, that's not the message I was going for, but it just kind of happened in the book. When sometimes we work so hard to achieve our goals and we need to be the one to do it. I got to do it all. I got to do it all. And it has to be me. It has to be me. And you see that a lot in hero stories. It has to be me to fight the villain at the end. It has to be me. But why? Why can't you have help? Why does the hero have to do it all on his own? Why can't he have, or she have the help of their friends with them to achieve this goal, right? So that's what they do. They start working together to unveil secrets, family secrets that blow their mind, that they never expected were going on, which again, I think that tells its own little story, that we may think we know what's going on in our life and think we have it all figured out when it comes to our parents or our brothers, sisters, just family, or even friends. We may think we know exactly what's going on because we feel we have that close relationship, but there's always more. There's always more to us. And that's what this book is showing. That's what the fourth princess talks about, is how there's always more to someone. There is a story behind why they act the way they do, why they're making the choices that they make, and why they want to do the things they do. There's so much more to us. And if you're going just off of first impressions, you're going to be disappointed, because first impressions usually are just a fraction of who we are. I mean, everyone knows that. And those split second decisions that we make sometimes keep us from learning about something truly amazing that we could really appreciate. So anyway, they work together to learn about all these secrets and uncover their the mysteries intertwined in their lives. And through that, they learn they achieve their goals and live happily ever after in true fairy tale fashion. I worry sometimes that my writing gets pretty stereotypical when it comes to the villain, when it comes to the plot, storyline, and things like that. But a friend of mine just told me, she's like, sometimes it's okay for a fairy tale to have a little bit of stereotype in there, because we need that. That's the stuff that we're drawn to. We do like the clear and cut out villain that we just know is the bad person, because it's not always so clear in real life. Some people are very good at hiding their ill intentions, and some people are not very good at expressing their true caring, compassionate emotions to one another. And so it's nice to have a story every once in a while that's clear and concise, and you know exactly who the good person is, exactly who the bad person is, and who to root for and what to go for, what side to be on, so that everything ends well on your side, right? I really enjoyed writing The Fourth Princess. And a question that someone asked me was, why did I even start writing in the first place? And that's an interesting answer that I think most mothers could appreciate, because I am a mother. I'm a mother of three absolutely crazy children, and I love them all the same. Something that I've said before is that only the people that I care about the most are the ones that drive me crazy. Because if I don't care, I won't even let you in on the craziness. I get really amped up and excited about things, or frustrated or angry. Emotions run very hot with me. Okay. Very intense with me. So I need to be careful who I direct all of my emotions to. And so if I get really excited or really angry or really frustrated, it's because I'm that involved in your life to get excited, frustrated, angry, and things like that. So only the people I love the most drive me crazy, and that is my family, which is only fair because I drive them just as insane. So we're just a crazy little family that is doing the best with what we have, and somehow we make it through life. So that's a little glimpse into my family life right there. But I started writing because I was a young mother. And well, I guess I was a young mother. I'm old now. I have to admit that. Here I am embracing the fact that I am an old lady now. I may not act that way. I may not think that way, but age-wise, I am. I'm officially old. But when I was a young mother, all of my attention, before, when you're single or even when you're married, you make sure to take time for yourself and take care of yourself. But once you have a child, especially little ones, they take up all of your time. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm just saying that as a fact. You need to be on them 24/7. I mean, they'll wake up in the middle of the night saying that they're hungry, or screaming to you that they're hungry. They'll tell you to watch them. Even when you're just sitting and finally having a chance to rest your eyes, it's like, you're not watching. Oh, I was, not for that 1 second. I'm sorry. But all of your energy as a parent, not just mothers, just as a parent or anyone who is raising a child or helps raise a child. So I guess that's all of us when you think about it. But anyone who's there, children require your constant attention, because it's up to you to help them learn and grow and develop and kind of push their imaginations, push their minds, push them to do more, to be more, to try harder, to try something else, do something new, try this new food, try this new activity, swing harder, so that you can hit the baseball bat, so that you can hit the baseball kind of thing, things like that. So I lost myself. Everything about me was put into my children. And there is no shame in that. There is no shame. And sometimes that's a good time. Sometimes that's a really good thing. There are sometimes when it's a bad thing and all of your time and energy goes to someone who really doesn't even care or want that time and energy. And that's, of course, that's not a good thing. But when all of your time and energy is put into a positive moment, or positively to help someone grow grow and learn more about themselves. It's good. But at the same time, at least for me, I lost myself. I had been caring so much about my children's growth and development that I completely forgot about my own growth and development. And I got to the point where, well, which is fair, because sometimes we think, well, I'm an adult now, or I'm a parent now, or I've grown up, I'm done growing. And so we don't feel like we need that attention, but we do. All of our experiences and elements around us come together and influence us and help us and reshape us into who we are. And we forget that we're constantly changing and growing and maturing and evolving, I guess you could say. And when we become stagnant, we know something is missing. We just don't always recognize that it's because we're not giving ourselves the attention that we need. So that's what happened for me. I was losing myself. I didn't know who I was anymore. I was defined by my children. And although that is a normal thing for any kind of parent, you still have an identity. I still have an identity. I'm still me. And I needed a way to strengthen that, because I was forgetting who I was. I was forgetting how I act, I was forgetting a lot about myself. And I was feeling very forgotten. To throw a plug in for the Forgotten Prince, I felt forgotten about. That it was all about my kids, and I am no longer important in the world. Which is not true at all. We're all important. Children, adults, teenagers, young, old, all of us. We're all important because we all play a role in our society, our communities, our lives, our families. So it's important to take care of ourselves as well. And a friend of mine, Kaylee, mentioned to me one day, I was talking to her about a story that was bouncing around in my head, because I do love stories. That's one thing I never forgot. I love watching movies. I love reading books, and just any way I can get a story told to me or I can read, I enjoy that. So my imagination was still going. I just never really paid it a lot of attention. And so I shared the story with her, and she told me to write it down. And for reasons I cannot explain, I actually did what she told me to do. I allowed a teenager to order me around and start writing. So I did. And writing, it turned out to be exactly what I needed. Writing for me is therapeutic. It was an outlet for me to focus all of my emotions in, all of the things that were bothering me, my anger, my stress, my frustrations, my excitement, just all of that I was able to throw into my writing, which, come to find out, is actually a normal meditative practice I just learned in college. That is a real practice, writing therapy. And it blew me away that I was able to stumble upon this and it happened to work. And now I just can't let it go, because when I'm not writing, I'm not happy. And you can tell, especially lately, I'm on my last semester of college. And so I've been doing a lot of writing, just not fun writing, not creative writing. And it shows. My kids can tell I'm extra stressed, more stressed than usual lately, because I don't have that time to just throw into my stories as much as I used to. And so sometimes I'll be upset, and my husband will send me to my room, which, oh, darn, you sent me to my room. So sad. When you're a kid, your parents send you to your room and it's the end of the world. When you're an adult, your parents send you to the room. It's like, thank you so much. So he would send me to my room and say, okay, go write something. And I would because I do this. I let people boss me around sometimes, but the only people I really care about, apparently, I'll go to my room and I'll write and I'll feel 100% better. So that's what writing is to me. I write. It would be great if I became famous one day, but I write for my personal health and sanity. Because if not, I know exactly where I would be. I'd be very sick and I would be miserable. And it's not a fun place to be. And you can't rely on other people to pick you up all the time. I do love my friends. I do love my relationships. But I have to have something that is 100% me. And that's what I love about this. I can channel my creativity, my imagination. It's all about me. I'm in control. Whereas when you're raising your kids, it's, well, what do you want? What would you like? You're trying to make them happy because you don't want to hear them cry for the 20th millionth time. 20 million, right? You just want them to be happy. You want to do things that make them happy and life easy for them. Writing was a way that I was in the driver's seat. I got to decide what was going on with my characters and the struggle that they were going through and the lessons that they were going to learn. That was entirely me. It was 100% me. And I loved that. That was a small amount of control that I have in my chaotic world. And that was all I needed. That was all I needed at the time. So, and as a bonus, I end up creating these wonderful books that I can share with my children. So I'm keeping myself happy, which also makes my kids happy. And as a result, I get these books that they can read and also feel happy about. So it's a win-win bonus situation. And I do appreciate that. I love that. We have a couple comments. Oh, okay. Fairgoer 991. Hello. It's so nice to meet you. It's so good to see you. Are there any upcoming fifth princesses? Let me tell you something. I tried to write a sequel for the fourth princess. I really did. I tried very hard to do a sequel. And every time I tried, it was just the worst. It was not good. It was just, and I would try to fix it because don't get me wrong. I know my writing is not amazing to begin with. That it takes editing and work and revisiting and stuff. That's the whole process of putting out a good story. But this wasn't even good, and I wasn't excited about it. For me, when I have a story in my head, I get excited about it, and different ideas and brainstorming becomes fun for me. And every time I tried to do a sequel, a fifth princess, it just didn't work out. And I wasn't excited, and I had to just let it go because you don't want to force it, especially. And if I don't like it, there's no way you're going to like it. So that's just a rule that I go by. If I'm bored, that means my reader's bored. If I don't like it and I'm just thinking about something else, then my reader's not going to be focusing on my work either. So there you go. I don't think there'll be a sequel. There might be a prequel to The Fourth Princess. I kind of left it open so that I could, if I wanted to, talk about Princess Josephine's adventures, like little mini stories with all these people that she met and how she helped and interacted with them and worked with them. So I might revisit the book and go into like little mini stories about her journey and path to get to before she gets to Prince Wendell's castle. But right now, all of my energy is going towards other fairy tales, other ideas that are tossing around in my head, things that are really exciting me. because I write the things that I like. I write what's in my head, write what's what intrigues me. And right now, as nice as it would be, it's not essential for me right now. So the fourth princess, I feel like I've said everything I need to say in her story. As far as I feel like I've gone as far as I need to. So sorry if you don't. I'm sorry. I did try. Valiant effort. It just didn't work out. After the forgotten, Fairgoer 1920. Hello there. It's good to see you. Thanks for coming to my booth. And just really quickly before I get to your questions, everyone who's here, go ahead, ask questions. I'm here for you. I'm here to answer what you have to say, what you want me to talk about. I can keep talking if you want. I just can't guarantee it's going to be about the stuff you want me to hear. So if you have more questions, please drop them. I love questions. You can never ask me too many because I love answering them. So just please ask me those questions. Okay, Fairgoer 1920, your question is, after The Forgotten Prince, any other book that you're working on? Yes, I am. I wish I was working on it more because right now all my efforts are into my schoolwork, my college work. I cannot wait to be done with that. I am supposed to be done by Christmas with my bachelor's degree, and then I am taking a break, and the plan is to just write. I wish I was further along in my story, but I do have one more fairy tale retelling that I want to do. The goal is to have 3 fairy tale retellings. The Fourth Princess, a retelling of The Princess and the Pea. The Forgotten Prince, a retelling of Snow White and Rose Red. Please do not confuse that with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. That story has been told, retold, and told again, and crumpled up into little pieces and mixed up and then retold another time. This Forgotten Prince is Snow White and Rose Red. And one more, I'm hoping, this is the first time I've said this out loud, so here's your spoiler. I'm hoping to do a retelling. It's actually going to be a gender bend of the 12 Dancing Princesses. So I'm working on that. I have a queen and I have 12 guardsmen that are meant to take care of her. But no one, I don't want to tell you anymore because I really want to write and elaborate, define my story before I give too much out. But yes, I want to do that. And I'm hoping that the cover is more yellowish, orangey. So I have my nice little primary colors going on there. I have my bluish greens. I have my red. It'd be cool if I got some yellowy oranges and stuff with a little splash of purple in there. Oh, see, now I'm really brainstorming. Thank you, Fairgoer 1920. So yes, once I get those 3 retellings out of my system, I think because I do have more stories going on ahead, I think that I'll be ready for my own story, my own ideas and different genres and stuff like that. So Fairgoer 1920, thank you. And another question, I like the cover of The Forgotten Prince. It also looks like Sleeping Beauty. It does because of the thorns. But those aren't thorns, those are roots. But yes, I meant to have it look overgrown and forgotten, like this medallion that's been forgotten about or hidden. Because that's what The Forgotten Prince is about. It's about rediscovering yourself, who you are, and embracing all parts of you, the good and the bad, so that you can have that courage and confidence to do what needs to be done. But enough about The Forgotten Prince. Unless that's what you really want to talk about, let me continue to tell you about The Fourth Princess, unless you have any more questions, which, again, I love questions. So keep asking those because I love them even more than what I have prepared. The Fourth Princess. So I needed to start writing. I was told to write, but I didn't really have a clear idea of what I was supposed to write. And I didn't even know where to start. So I decided to take this silly little joke that one of my sisters came up about my family, my family that I grew up with. And I went from there. And from there, I had this cute little storytale. I said storytale, a cute little fairy tale vibe going on. And so I want to share that joke with you. Now, I also want you to understand this is very important, okay? Because my sisters love and hate this joke, okay? Because they love it because it is true and they can't really deny it. But they don't like it because there's so much more to them. And you need to understand that there is so much more to my characters than what I am showing them. There's so much more to my sisters than what I've portrayed in the first chapter or two. I use my relationships, my friends, my family as inspiration for my characters. But that's really all as far as it goes. I'll stop right there. I'll take their attitude, I'll take their perspectives, and I'll take things that they like, and then I run with it. I don't say, oh no, that's not what Rachel would do. I allow my characters to evolve and take on a personality of their own from the starting point that I had. An example would be the Fourth Princess. Okay. Princess Josephine. I based off of me because I was writing about what I knew. And then this entirely new story started to unveil, and Josephine turned into pretty amazing character. And she's pretty well-rounded, pretty grounded, very smart, doesn't panic. She is not me. She is the me I aspire to be and wish I was more like. So you need to understand. So when I say that I've based a few of my characters off of some people, you need to understand that that's not really them. It's just where I started, and then the story took over. So let me just share the story, share this joke with you because it cracks me up. So there's this joke where the four of us, my sisters and I, would be walking down a dark alley, and this big, scary person is in our way and stops us. So the joke is, what would we do? Well, one of my sisters would be the smart one and turn around and find another way to get to where we need to go that was safer. Okay. And another one of my sisters, more of the bolder one, the more confident one, she would kind of, just shove them out of the way and just carry on in the direction that she was headed. She just knew what to do. Right. And another sister of mine, she so beautiful growing up, just beautiful. She would flirt with them because she's just really good with the guys. She always had a guy that was in love with her, and I was very jealous of her for that. But yeah, she would flirt with the stranger and then go on her merry way because they weren't a threat anymore. And me, I would probably already know the person, and they were my friend, and we would strike up a conversation, and we would end up going to where we needed to be together. So that's our joke, and I just started writing that out, and that's how I got the first few chapters of the Fourth Princess, and then it just went from there. And that is all you will see of my sisters in any of my writing. I used them for that. They're grateful, and now they don't want me to do it again. and I'm okay with that. So yes, they appreciate it, but they know it's all in good fun, that kind of thing. More comments. I love it. Fairgoer1920, since Princess Josephine is the fourth, ever plan of creating stories for the others? Nope. I just no, no, I have not, because I like to write what I know, and well, now you've got me thinking, Fairgoer 1920. Creating stories for the others. I never even thought about that. Maybe, because now you've got my imagination going, and my brain is going a mile a minute now that I'm thinking about it. I never even considered the idea. Maybe. I'm just going to leave it at that. Maybe. But if I do that, they're definitely going to take on. I'm not going to say. If I do, I will not accredit them to any of my sisters, because they will be taking on their own stories and their own personalities of their own. And I don't want it to get mixed up. Okay. But that is a good idea. I never even thought about that. But thank you, Fairgrower 1920. Fairgrower 1920. Or does Princess Josephine have any? Yes, she has the the three sisters. One that is the smartest person who's ever in the kingdom, or just ever. One who's very wise. One who's very strong and knows fighting and military techniques very well. And a third who is the most beautiful woman ever. And everyone wants to meet her and loves her because she's just so gorgeous. Anyway, but I did stick with the whole one note quality, because it is very fairy tale-ish. And it takes me back to that traditional fairy tale vibe, that grim fairy tale, just that distinct quality that sets you apart, to just help with the story. And I did like that. So it was almost like a little fairy tale within a fairy tale for me. And I did enjoy how that beginning started, which brings me to the ending. I'm not going to tell you how it ends, but I do love how it comes full circle with the fourth princess and the story. I love stories that come full circle and reflect back on or allude back to the beginning and their origins, because I think that we are, as much as we want to be our future, we want to grow and become more and do more, there's still that past that we've come from, and we need to have a healthy appreciation for our past so that we can grow and do more. So there's that little plug right there. Thank you so much for these questions. I do appreciate them. I love them. I'm going to go on and tell you a little bit more about the fourth princess. There is a lot of me in there. I remember one of my favorite things that I love to do as a young adult. My girlfriends and I would go dancing a lot. We would never miss an opportunity to go dancing. And we would just go nuts and just have fun. And I'm sure I have been told I am not the best dancer out there, but I don't care. I just dance, and it's fun, because that was how I relieved my stress back then. And it was a blast, and it always helped us clear our heads, and whatever frustrations and problems that we were dealing with, they just kind of went away for a while. And when we were back to reality and we weren't out partying anymore, it was a chance we could look at things with fresher eyes, more clearer eyes. And so I incorporated that in the fourth princess during the tavern scene. I love strawberries, so I incorporate strawberries. That's actually a pretty big deal. That reminds me of a quick story, a military story, actually. My husband was deployed. He served in Afghanistan. No. Yes. No. He served in Iraq. Anyway, so when he was gone, he really missed us. It was just me and my oldest at the time. He was very young. He was one when he left. Yeah. So when he was gone, he would just something that he would say a lot while he was working or with his buddies. He would say, "I like spaghetti," and everyone would think he's weird. Okay, so whenever something would get frustrating, he would say, "I like spaghetti," or he would say, "Whatever, I like spaghetti," and all of his buddies just thought it was so weird that he would say something so random like that. "I like spaghetti. I like spaghetti." And something good would happen, would say, "Oh, I like spaghetti." And he would say it for every reason. And they did everything. And they didn't understand why until he flat out said, "My wife is Italian." Well, a little. I have some Italian in me. My wife's Italian. And every Sunday, I would make pasta for him. That was just an easy meal that I can make. And so I'd make pasta. And spaghetti is one of the pastas I would make. So I would make that for him. And so every time something frustrating would happen or something good, that was every time he would say, "I like spaghetti," that was his way of thinking of me. Whatever. I have a wife at home who loves me, and I'm going to do what I have to do to get back to her, kind of thing. And after he explained this to some of his friends, at least the ones that were married and had children, they totally got it. They totally would get it. And they would start joining in and say, "Yep, I hear you." And it's a story that I wanted to incorporate in The Fourth Princess. And you'll see that with the king when he says, "I like strawberries. I love strawberries. Love strawberries." And I don't want to give anything away, but it's that same, when he says strawberries, is he really talking about strawberries or is he talking about something else? And so, yeah, there are these stories that I've been through, stories that I've experienced, things that I like, pieces of me, pieces of my family woven into The Fourth Princess, which is why it is so near and dear to my heart. And why I love it so much, and why I want to share it with you. And when people do read The Fourth Princess and they come back to me and say that they loved it and they enjoyed it, you're essentially telling me that you love and appreciate me, and that you enjoy the stories that I'm sharing with you and the messages that they have. It really means a lot to me because I throw so much of me and my thoughts and my experiences into these stories. And so when you appreciate them, it's one of the highest compliments you can give me, because you're not just appreciating my work, you're appreciating me as a person. And not just as an author, but as a person and a friend. So that's why I want to share it with you guys, because there have been people who have read it and love it, which is why I kept writing. And that's why we have The Forgotten Prince coming out soon. I love this even more. There's no traces of me. Well, there's traces of me, but me personally, that characters that are based off of me, I'm not in there. I feel like I'm Princess Josephine, and there are other people that I can talk about or base my characters on in The Forgotten Prince. And I do love doing that. I do love incorporating my friends and sharing their stories with you as well, or their personalities with you as well, with my readers. So just a heads up, we are already at the end of our hour. I have 9 more minutes left, and this has been great. I've only gotten a few questions, but still, it was enough for me to talk, and it turned out to be a really fun discussion. So thank you so much, fairgoers. This was great. I will be talking all about The Forgotten Prince tomorrow, same time, 10 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. I believe that's 12 Eastern Standard Time. And it will be an hour just about more of The Forgotten Prince. And if you're here and you still don't feel like you understand, you've gotten the vibe of the Fourth Princess, or you want to know more about the Forgotten Prince so that you're ready and set to go for tomorrow, you can check out all of my past sessions, broadcasts that I've done. Underneath here, it'll say broadcast schedule and then replay last session. Under replay last session, they're all there. All of my broadcasts are there. And if you are out and about and for some reason cannot access the Festival of Storytellers, you can find me on YouTube. Just search it, and all of my broadcasts are there on YouTube. Search my name, MASCHGER, and there it is, all of my broadcasts. So you can listen up on all of my past stuff, maybe get some awesome questions to really try to stump me, whatever you feel like doing. I'm just glad that you're here. Honestly, if you don't even do anything else, I'm just glad that you came today. I'm glad that you were able to participate in this broadcast and ask some really good questions. Thank you again, Fairgoer 1920. You really got me thinking about creating stories for the other princesses. And who knows, maybe you are the one who triggered that spark for more princess stories. We'll see. But thank you very much. I loved it all. Thank you again for this opportunity, Reader's Magnet. This has been an awesome festival, and I encourage you, my fairgoers, to go and check out some more booths, check out some other stories. There's something here for everyone, just like I said at the beginning. You will not be disappointed. I hope you have fun. I hope you have a great time, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks so much. Bye.